These are hepaticas. They're my favorite wildflower and one of the first to start blooming in the spring in Minnesota. For years, I associated them with my father because when I was little, he would take us out for walks in the woods and he'd point out trees and plants and gave us their names. And so he gave me the name hepatica, and I would often think of them or think of him when I thought of these flowers. But for the last several years, I've associated them with my mother. And that is because while she was dying in the spring of 2017, I was walking in one of our state parks, and these flowers were blooming in absolute profusion, more so than I had ever seen. And it was a beautiful Easter Sunday, and there were a lot of people in the park, and I was in deep grief over my mother's impending death. It was the last week of her life, and I'm just trying to have this moment with nature. Nature is very soothing for me, and these flowers were so tender to me, and I'm there in grief and trying to just be there and cry with the flowers, and people would be coming down the path and I'd have to run off in the woods to hide. But anyway, while I was experiencing these flowers, I decided to sit down and I wrote a poem to the flowers. The poem is called Hepatica, and this is it. There you stand in your radiance, taunting me with your beauty, dancing in the breeze like a joyful child. My mom lies in bed. You keep smiling, daring me to be happy. I, drowning in tears, you, shining the glory of creation. Mothers die, and our hearts are ripped raw, but flowers, they keep blooming anyway.